Why is Mitt Romney talking specifically about coal? Why should President Obama perhaps be a little worried about his position the last couple of years on coal? Let's put up a map of the top coal production states in the United States. Take a look at that map. You got states ranging from Texas to Montana along the Rocky Mountain Midwestern states, but also look over here in what we call the Rust Belt. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. These are some of your largest coal-producing states. They are, oh, by the way, also some of your biggest swing states, the ones that affect the outcome of an election. And we had on that map some of the electoral votes that go with those states. So I think it's no mystery why Mitt Romney, someone who once said that coal plants kill people directly.
Mitt Romney said that.
Mitt Romney said this as governor of Massachusetts, is now embracing coal as an electrical generation source.
So I have a question just as a policy matter about coal. For environmentalists, what is the biggest, liability of coal? Is it the CO2, which I understand the Supreme Court is even dubious about labeling as a pollutant, what you breathe out? How can that be a pollutant? Or is it smog in the air? Is it the, chopping off the top of mountainsides and all of the debris that goes into the rivers? Where exactly is the locus of apparently the most environmental concern?
Well, you're right that it's two separate categories of environmental concern, and one of which is the source of much debate, and that is the CO2 emissions and global warming. But the second is one where there is a legitimate debate about coal generation externalizing some of their costs, such as putting out pollutants that cause acid rain, that can harm crop growth, and it's simply also, by the way, usage of public roadways, things like coal. Coal has externalized costs that should be debated as part of this.
I want to jump onto your politics talk. In addition to the map you put up, why this is politically important, I'm going to say that this is both very smart of Mitt Romney and a little ill-conceived. Let me start off with smart. Energy is a strong issue for Mitt Romney. It's a weak issue for Obama. He's had a weak energy policy, whether it's Solyndra, Keystone, failure to open drilling permits. This is a good idea. But the bigger reason why this is smart, I want to put up a picture that we got from Bealstown, Ohio, August 19th. This is a line of hundreds, if not thousands, of coal miners lining up to meet Mitt Romney. And what that speaks to is not how awesome Mitt Romney is, but a real weakness on the part of Obama and Democrats over the past few decades. They are losing the white, blue-collar vote in staggering numbers. That is a voting bloc that speaks beyond coal miners, and Romney knows it. Why is it ill-conceived? Because no one goes to the voting booth and votes for someone's energy policy.
This administration pretends to be an all-of-the-above strategy when it comes to energy. But it's not true. It's really all of the above minus the sort of most cost-effective, most accessible things that we have here domestically in this country. And we are decarbonizing. I mean, the charts you show, Will, over time we're going to be moving towards cleaner energy sources. That's naturally happening without having to put on, for example, regulations that he said would bankrupt the coal industry. But right now, when you're in a tough economic position, and when you have an energy sector that has been one of the only bright spots, when you look up in the Dakotas, for example, and you do things like you don't approve the XL pipeline, the Keystone pipeline, it just shows that your ideology, you're willing to punish America right now because of your belief, because you think that there's some sort of long-term environmental consequence that really is not actually borne out by the facts. You're just pushing for energy sources right now that aren't as efficient and aren't as effective. So we should be doing more with coal. We should be doing even more with natural gas.
Well, also, too, the aspect of that picture is those are unionized coal workers.
Right.
What do unions care about? They care about American jobs. So by President Obama rejecting the Keystone pipeline, he's essentially rejecting American jobs.
Right.
And big oil companies pay their workers and engineers, and they have this economic engine of ingenuity to produce more for the economy. They pay them very well. They give them very good benefits. And so for the Democrats and President Obama in particular to kind of demonize energy as a whole is a very bad idea because it's about jobs, which is another reason why Mitt Romney can capitalize off of it, because his entire campaign has been focused on getting people back to work.
Sure, but I have a question about that. That sound clip that you played of Obama at the San Francisco Chronicle, that was during the 2008 campaign. And yet, Obama did win Colorado, and he did win Pennsylvania, and he did win Ohio. So why is it that this hasn't apparently hurt him at the polls.
That was all campaign rhetoric 4 years ago. But I mean, I have to say, you should appreciate President Obama's honesty on this issue. I mean, he said he was going to go after coal. He went after coal. That picture shows men, yes, that are representative of other things you both point out. But you know what it mainly represents? Men who are afraid they're going to lose their job. In the next 5 to 8 years, something like 14% of the nation's coal generation plants need to be retired. They're old. They're 30 years old. And with this law he put in, or this EPA regulation he put in just a few months ago, they can't build new coal generation plants.
Look at the price of gas, too. That they can afford to lose those voters. They are known as the global warming party, the green party.
That's a political calculation that he might have made, that he can give up these kind of voters in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wyoming, but I don't know if it's true.